Okay, so, speed of life. So when I think of speed, I think of things like fast cars and trains and rockets and everything, computers. But I also think of things like sound, light, and the mind. We think we're the most advanced things on the planet, and we probably are, much more advanced than anything we've created. There's only one thing smarter than us, which is the planet. My first idea was to create a film on life in nature, and although I've continued down that path, I also wanted to bring us into the equation. After all, that was my whole point. I wanted to showcase all of us surrounded by all the amazing things we've created. Buildings and cities, sculptures, cars, even things like bridges and railways. But also all the equally incredible things were in fact already there. We only have a small amount of time on this planet, and honestly most of the time we're just trying to figure out what to do with it. Figuring out how to live the life we want to live, trying to understand love and friendship and death and life. One of the smartest men known to man, Albert Einstein, once said, "Look deep into nature and you'll understand everything." And that's what I want to do. My documentary is really simple. There are no specific locations and no money needs to be spent. I want to emphasise the fact that we are surrounded by nature and close locations are okay. There's no costumes, not really any actors, only people that want to just be seen in nature. And everything is going to be natural because I wanted to showcase how, nature and people are related. So that's Speed Life. Any questions?
No.
Yeah, there is a movie which is very similar to your idea, which is like Korean Squashy. You know the movie? Yeah, well, it's basically, do you know? So I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, there's loads of influences that I've used. So Planet Earth, Green Planet, but also things like children's films, because children are quite innocent and they see the world in a very different way adults see it. They're very open-minded, and that's what I kind of want to bring into this. Is we kind of walk through the streets and pass everything and don't really look at it, whereas children really see the world. Whereas when you get older, you don't really notice those things. You're more focused on money and jobs and things like that. Whereas when you're children, your imagination's incredible, so that's what I kind of wanted to emphasise as well. Anything else?
What kind of style are you going to do the short film in? Because you're saying there's not going to be any dialogue or anything like that, so no. There's no story.
It's all going to be, obviously I'm figuring out whether I'm going to do a voiceover. That's what I'm kind of figuring out. So following along the theme of Planet Earth and how David Attenborough voices over that, and I kind of want to do that, but I also kind of want to just show maybe pictures and music, well not pictures but videos and music, and kind of make it you can interpret it in your own way, and because everyone else has a different story, so I didn't want there to be a specific storyline. I want everyone to relate to it and everyone to watch it and really figure out what they can take from it.
So is it?
Yeah. Oh no, carry on, Malachi.
No.
So it's like a montage then?
I mean, I guess, but not really, because there is going to be, it's not like you would see a YouTube video, like a montage. It's more it's going to take you through nature. It's going to go more in depth into it as well. It's also going to take you through all things like, around cities and places that you're seeing. It's going to be kind of like that. But also I want to add a voiceover to explain all different, statistics and also things that are relatable to people, how love and friendship. I want everyone to watch it and kind of think about things that they've experienced that also relate to that. So I want every single culture and every single person to be able to see themselves in my film.
Yeah, do you want to use music or some kind of sample?
Yeah, I'm going to obviously use copyright-free music. I've kind of figured out a couple of songs that I want to put into it. I also kind of want it to be quite inspirational in a way, to make you go away and think, yeah, maybe I should start thinking about that. And also I want to show things that people don't really see in the media, also things that are quite deep and kind of controversial as well. So I want to really kind of make my film kind of naked in a way, kind of strip away all of the pretty, flowery amazing things.
What sort of things, like what controversial things do you mean?
I feel like things that, you know, for example, you know, I want to show like statistics in global warming, so I want to kind of show that as well. I also kind of want to show you know, the meat industry, things like that. So it's also gonna involve every single aspect of the world we live in that's kind of masked. So I want to bring in obviously everything that's to do with the planet, animals, nature, everything, like how we're cutting down forests and building buildings, and I want to involve that and kind of show that although we're helping the planet in a way, we're also kind of ruining it as well as we go on. So
it's going to be like a documentary type sort of thing then.
Yes. Yeah. Anything else?
Time lapse.
Sorry, go on.
Time lapse. Okay.
Time lapse?
Will you use time lapse or time lapse?
It really depends. I feel like things with my film is when you're filming in nature, it's all kind of like, it's quite difficult to plan it. It's very hard, you know, with weather and things like that, because we're not going to be filming inside. Everything is outside, so there's not specific times we can do things. So obviously there will be a overall plan and try and get as much in as we can, but everything still depends because you can't really control nature. You have to kind of go with it. So that's kind of what I want to do. I kind of want to flow with it, and that's what I want to show through my film as well, how it's not all very planned, but obviously there will be kind of like a, you know, scenes that we want to film, scenes that I think will be good, and also like a plan for how it's going to take you through the story. So there will be a story, but not in a kind of
Like a
scene one,
fictional
scene two,
story.
yeah, not like a fictional story, and not very cut. It's going to be quite, you know, shaky, a little bit natural, and that's what I kind of want it to be. I want it to be natural and just raw, really.
What are you going to film?
I want like everything. I want to film animals in nature. I want to film people in nature. I want to film, you know, plants, trees, things that all around us. Also buildings and things we have created. So just everything that you see in your everyday life. I want to make it more in depth and more close up, and really make you watch it rather than just walk past it.
A
Do
bit
you know
more,
what I mean?
being a little bit more specific. Like what? So obviously you can't travel around the world. And
No,
film
no.
this, 'cause you've only
Yeah,
got a
no.
week or two
Yeah,
in terms of filming.
yeah.
So more specifically, what do you intend to film? Like what specifically are you going to go, right, I'm going to film that, I'm going to film that?
Well, obviously I'm going to film, because we live in quite a countryside kind of place, so that's kind of like the main basis of it. But I'm going to film things like, you know all the animals that we have here. Film like trees, plants, like lakes, all like these different things. Also bring some people into it. Well, I want to be quite natural. No like, you know, crazy clothing. No crazy makeup. No, like very raw, natural, and bring them into it as well. And show like how we also like down to the core with us and the planet, like the connection, the relationship that we have. And I kind of want to show, you know, the sea, things like that as well, because there are, you know, you can travel around, you know, England. It's not like that hard, so that's kind of what I want to do.
So you're going to go to the seaside?
It all depends on, yeah, maybe. It's kind of still, I want to film just everywhere, but also kind of locations that are close to us, because how we don't really like pay attention to it, but if you really see it in depth, it's actually quite pretty.
Such as?
Lakes, fields, we've got amazing buildings that we've built, we've got woodland like areas, and also just kind of people, like the relationships people would have with themselves, relationships people have with nature, just that kind of whole thing, just life in general.
Okay. I think it's a brilliant idea. I like it a lot. My concern is that it seems a little unplanned, I think, in terms of what you're actually going to film.
I mean, I do have, I've filmed a couple of shots already, just to have a feel of what I wanted it to look like. I don't have them, but there's also, I filmed a couple of ones close here, but also ones that were a bit far out as well, so I've kind of already created an idea of what I want to do, and I've also got loads of footage from different places that I want to add into it, but also kind of create new places as well to film.
Okay.